Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Let me begin today with the Alvin Kamara news, with the absolute latest. You probably heard this story over the weekend, and you heard it updated there. The absolute latest here, just within the last half hour, is that the police report has been released where they cite video surveillance evidence of Saints running back Alvin Kamara punching a man approximately 8 times, is the report. And then people with Kamara are stomping on this man several more times on the ground. This happened apparently early hours Saturday morning there in Vegas. So Kamara was 5th year in the NFL, playing in his 5th Pro Bowl in as many seasons. He's out in Las Vegas. He goes out. This altercation happens. He plays in the Pro Bowl on Sunday, and then subsequently, after the Pro Bowl, was taken into custody. So police are like, that's all right, AK, go get your 4 catches, and then go ahead and get showered. Then we'll cuff you and bring you into custody. So he was taken into custody. He was interviewed by police. He was arrested, charged with battery resulting in substantial bodily harm. He was booked, spent Sunday night in prison, bonded out on Monday. On Sunday night. He bonded out after posting bail later Sunday night. So some of the other, and we'll get to in just a second what this means for the Saints and all that, just some of the other information that's come to light just here in the last half hour or so. The man was knocked unconscious, apparently sustained an orbital fracture to his right eye, among other injuries. This is, you get punched by an NFL player 8 times and kicked by other dudes. You're going to sustain significant or substantial bodily harm. So apparently the video, according to police, did match the alleged victim's account. So the question always becomes, okay, well, what started this? Was it self-defense? Apparently this wasn't, but according to the report, the man said he started a conversation with one member of a group of people while waiting for an elevator as he was leaving a casino. It was about 6:30 a.m. local time, so obviously the night, which became morning. When the elevator door opened, the man started to walk toward the elevator along with a large party. Apparently, Kamara put his hand on the man's chest, told him to stop. The man pushed Kamara's hand off his chest. Kamara pushed back. The man stumbled. And then that's all the guy remembers, apparently. Got hit, lost consciousness, and the video tends to show that. Apparently, the man was speaking to a female before the events occurred that he described. This is all according to the police report. So, and the first punch was not thrown by Kamara, but one of his associates, and then Kamara lunged and hit him 8 times. So, including 3 times after he'd fallen to the ground. So that's a lot of info, all from this police report. A few things, specifically with the legalities here. Look, there's video, so there is a video account of what happened. But when you're talking about a legal issue, I would prefer let the legal system play out. Burden of proof falls on the accuser, as we know, and they'll let evidence come to light, and we'll see what happens. There was this part of my mind that kind of went, man, I hope this was self-defense when I first heard the story. Clearly, it appears though it was not self-defense. Yes, of course, you always go to this point where you go, why? Like, why? If you're Alvin Kamara, what are you doing, man? You're an NFL star. You got the world in your hand. What are you doing? You're in the early morning hours. You're at 6 a.m. local time. You've been clearly out. I don't think he had just woken up and was going to get a workout in. He was out. He was in a nightclub in Vegas. He was out all night. So it's unfortunate that this happened this way. You wish that Kamara would be smarter. He's had a pretty pristine career to this point. He stayed out of trouble, been a very good guy by all accounts. Just a pretty terrible incident. The really significant part of this for the Saints, obviously, is that the NFL has a personal conduct policy. And the NFL's personal conduct policy comes with a suspension. And the events that lead to a suspension are assault, battery, domestic violence, sexual assault. Well, Kamara's been arrested and charged with battery. So you're talking about a 6-game suspension for Alvin Kamara. Again, there's a bigger legal issue there. I have no idea what the punishment is in the state of Nevada for something like this. If Kamara is guilty or goes to court, or if he pleads guilty, not whatever, lesser charge. We'll let it all play out. But specifically from the NFL's purpose, none of that matters. The result of the case doesn't affect whether or not the NFL can or will punish Alvin Kamara. And by the letter of the rule, he's going to be suspended for 6 games as a result of this. So whoever the new coach is going to come in to a situation where New Orleans is likely not going to have its best offensive player for six games out of a 17-game schedule. So more than a third of the season, you're not going to have Alvin Kamara. This coming off a season where obviously you didn't have Michael Thomas for the entirety of the season, and going into a year where you have tremendous uncertainty, not only at running back opposite Kamara, but with who your quarterback is going to be. We don't even know who the coach is going to be. Who's going to be calling plays? What type of offense will they have? So for so many reasons, this is unfortunate. Obviously, the personal aspect of a man getting the crap beaten out of him, breaking his face and everything. The senselessness of all of it, especially if you're Alvin Kamara, with so much to lose by making such a poor decision, that's awful. And then the entire Saints organization and the football team is going to suffer in 2022 because of it. And they're going to likely be without Alvin Kamara for 6 games as a result of the NFL's personal conduct policy. And that's barring something unforeseen or maybe even more based on how this all transpires. So the police report has been released. We now have more details about what transpired in Las Vegas in the early morning hours on Saturday that led to Alvin Kamara's eventual arrest. As this develops, we'll keep you posted. But for New Orleans, it's just another thing on the list of awful things that have happened. I'll remind you that last year, Marshawn Lattimore was arrested. He did not serve a suspension. We went through this. That was a non-violent crime, and he was a first-time offender. The way the NFL rule is written is if it's a non-violent crime and the player has a clean record, then the NFL can elect to just fine the player instead of suspending the player. That is apparently what happened, even if there was a fine. We don't even know that for Marshawn Lattimore, but he did not suffer any suspension or time lost. Deontay Harris had a DUI, and he was suspended. So there's some things in the rule book that are black and white, and this would certainly appear to be the case with Alvin Kamara. You're likely going to be without him for 6 games here in the 2022 season. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.